relationships are always prone to end. You don't want to have all your emotional support come from one person, and then when you're having issues with that one person, you have no emotional support for those issues.
Okay, do something, got me ghost bumping in the lot. You gon' prove something, or this dope, what you really taught. This the move, we gon' bring the crew up here to the spot. And I move, I don't wanna lose something that I got. Okay, late night with the boys, late night with the boys.
No reason like countdown, just we're going.
Yeah, I clicked like, I was like 1, 2, 3, but then like, okay.
And live.
I was like, 1, I just forgot how to count. I was like, 1, and live!
When you're launching a rocket and your buddy's friend just accidentally slips on the like fire button.
Yup. You know the launch is about to go wrong when you hear 5, 4, and then they just take off. Like, legit.
They're going.
It's important to teaching the numbers in order.
All right, I'm really excited for this. I've been waiting 2 weeks because of COVID. All the shipping's super slow, so I've been waiting 2 weeks for this to come in the mail. Guesses. Here, I'll Coop.
Whips out a box. I love it.
What do you think it is?
Dante, it's kind of upside down. You might
I
want to flip
literally
it over.
have no idea.
I'm gonna guess a vacuum bag. Wait, hold on. Flip it over for a second.
It says the exact
You worked in too many dimensions, Dante. Home good. Okay.
Don't show no addresses.
I'm gonna guess a desk lamp. I'm gonna guess a desk. Well, I'm saying like dimensionally across different axes. You see what I'm? Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
And Rohan?
I literally I literally have no idea.
It's not a desk lamp.
Shoot.
Something related to fitness? I don't know. Oh, sleeping.
A weighted blanket?
Yeah.
Is it a weighted blanket?
Ooh, this is added foam for what it is.
Ooh. Is it a weighted blanket?
It is not a weighted blanket.
I want to get a weighted blanket.
It is a pillow.
Oh, nice. It looks like a really nice pillow. Oh, that's what the foam is for. What kind of pillow?
It's a Coop $60 pillow.
For sleeping.
Jeez.
I mean, what else would it be for?
It says be asleep. I'm gonna cut that out. And I'm just gonna tape it to my knuckles.
That's your yearbook quote, dog.
Asleep.
That's your yearbook
No.
quote.
Bring that to the tattoo artist. Be like, this is what I want. Just give me this, all right? Just like across here, all right?
This is a knuckle thing. B-E.
You know, like IKEA, the trashy like fake like Finnish or like the pseudo European translation thing. That's what the be asleep sounds like.
I can do knuckles like. Wait. B-E. Watch me count. B-E-A-S-L-E-E-P. Right there. Tattoo.
Could you? I mean, I could see it working, but like
You can't do the thumbs. It's 8 letters, so you could make it work.
It has literal instructions for the different ways of sleeping, and it's to make it so it's the most comfortable and best for your back. So I'll be doing that tonight. I bought that because I have a really good mattress. The mattress under my bed, it's top quality. It's so good. But the pillows I have are dog shit.
Yeah, I got you.
So I've been sleeping and it hurts my neck. So I figured I'm just going to invest the money and buy a good pillow. So I think it was worth it.
We're getting our
okay, so real quick, because every single time in the podcast, we always forget this and do it late every time. We need to introduce our guest, obviously, because we have a bunch of audience members just coming in, and now they're talking about a sleep pillow, and they're very, very confused on what's going on. So
then we just derail completely. Without further ado,
this right here is Dante,
guest.
and Dante, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dante. That is my name.
Do you have any title? Any licensing?
Yeah.
Any socials?
Dante Boncristiani. No socials of any note.
Do you have a doppelganger that people should be on the lookout for?
No, nothing that I know of. No. But if you find one, tell me.
Mm-hmm. Always very interesting. Sleep
Yeah.
is like always a good thing. Okay. There's more.
What episode of the podcast is this?
7.
This is episode 7.
No, not 6. Why'd you hold up 6, Robert?
7.
Oh, you had the. Oh.
Thumb counts. Thumbs count.
Thumb counts and counting. I don't know if it counts as a finger.
You did like
episode 7.
Yeah, like you've taken an L, Rohan.
No, Robert. Count your fingers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, I didn't see the thumb. Okay.
Rohan.
I'm like this. This is how I count it.
No, I do it like this.
The thumb doesn't count as a finger. Technically.
You count it in counting though, just like you would count it like this. It's like some people do 3 like this, or some people do 3 like. Wait, what's the other way? There's like 2 ways of doing it.
Nobody does 3 like this. No, like,
I'm sure there are people. I don't do it like that, but there are people who would. It would be hard.
This is literally becoming a Joe Rogan podcast. We're just talking about nothing.
Or like they do like this.
No, dude, that is.
Is this an offensive gesture?
No, that is.
No, this is the offensive. Okay, cut.
Wait, everyone's talking over everyone now. So Dante right here is a good friend of both Robert and mine, and we both met him different ways. First off, with me, I met Dante through a scouting program. And we became really close because in that scouting program, that we do a lot of stuff that is stressful, and you kind of bonded it.
We were in the same patrol forever. We were in the Hydras together.
And yeah, I think in high school we kind of I don't know, developed that, and we're really good friends. We love to talk about everything. And he's part of the reason that this podcast is live here, and we're confident enough to talk about the issues we talk about. So, Robert, explain your relation to Dante.
Oh, yeah. So totally getting into it. I guess to put it succinctly, sophomore year, I had known Rohan, but I had not known Dante. And so kind of coming in, transfer from my old high school, and I was kind of like looking for people to network with. I didn't really have any friends at the time besides Rohan. And so I was kind of, I guess, just kind of like thrown into it. And so Rohan, you introduced me to Dante, and we just kind of like hit it off from there, just as like a triad. I think you guys were my first definitely friend group at the high school I went to, and the one that has definitely seen me through the most things. They say like the smallest circles will stay with you the longest. Definitely true for this one. And so we all kind of like met up and gelled even further in our own ways in weight training.
Yeah, definitely. I connected most with these 2 guys. Definitely during weight training, we started becoming real tight, and we started hanging out. And you helped me through some great parts and some terrible parts of high school. Been there for the good and the bad, and now we're out on the other side, ready for the real world.
Exactly. That's so wild. This is like I feel like something we kind of did with this is like we really like kind of put a cap, like kind of put the cherry on top with the relationships we had and kind of presented them, which I thought is funny. And actually, another thing real quick, before we like totally move on, is that it almost didn't actually happen. Like there's so many ways it couldn't have actually happened. I almost didn't transfer to this school. And also I actually had assigned weight training because PE was full. And so I almost didn't even take weight training, but like taking the class was probably one of the best decisions of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Let's talk about workouts then.
How have you guys been working out during quarantine? What's up?
Oh boy. I've been running. That's been spectacular. Running is like my favorite thing to do. The only issue is that it's the only thing I do. So
he's just been running the whole. He has not done anything else. Like he's not slept. He's just been running the whole time.
Yeah, it's just running. I'm gonna end up looking like Mr.
Like right now, if you the camera doesn't see it, but like there's like a little treadmill thing under him,
like bloody
and he's like
stumps.
running right now in place.
My legs are bloody stumps right now. They're covered in viscera, plasma, bone shards. It's spectacular. We can't show it for.
So how many miles a week do you think you're averaging?
Shoot. I think it's about like 10, so it's not very much, but it's still like something. Usually I would do more, I feel like, if I was in school, or like if cross country season was still on. But it's about like 31 per month. So that's like an average-ish. I feel like I need to like spread it out a little bit more, because sometimes you ever do that thing, I think you guys might get this too, you have like guilt workouts too, where it's like it's been way too long of this thing, you go way too hard, and then the day after you're like, "Ah, I can't move."
That
I can't
actually
move
happened
X
yesterday,
body
the
part."
exact same thing.
Those guilt workouts, man, they mess you up
That's true. Like they honestly do more harm than good sometimes. You just
sometimes, for
yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm. What were
I
you
think they're
working out
always
as a
good.
guilt workout, Rohan?
I don't know, like I didn't work out in a while, and like I just started like getting back into it, and the next day my legs were like really sore because it was
Ooh.
leg day. And yeah, like I don't know, my legs usually when I do leg day, it's not, their legs don't get that sore, but they got really sore that day. So I guess it might have been, I only took a 3-day break, which is not that much. So I don't know if it had that much of an effect, but I guess it did something. I've been working out every day mostly, and I've missed a few days. I don't know if I can pull up my thing. I don't know if you want to see, but
No, you
I
should
have
pull
like,
up your. I mean, if you want to show them, of course.
it's,
I mean, I think
what
it's
are they
cool
gonna
if you
do?
want to show
They
them.
can't dox me from a workout schedule.
If you have like your
Don't
location where they
don't
run,
say
though.
can't. Don't say can't. I wouldn't risk
Yeah.
it.
Oh, jeez. White. All the blue is the
That's
days I
fine.
worked out.
It's doing the centering for you.
No, like there's like half of them you can't even see. Yeah, there we go.
Ah, there we go. There we go.
Good.
Nice.
It's been
That's
kind of
great.
scattered because, but
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
and that's like I've done that many workouts, that many minutes.
Nice. It's good that
2,000
The calories in the middle?
46,000
Calories?
kcal.
Oh, kilocalories. That's different numbers. Nice.
Yeah.
Good on you for that.
That's been me just daily working out.
Jeez.
I've been working out every day, but every morning I work out with mom. So I've kind of been working out at the level of a 53-year-old woman. So
Which there's
kind
no shame in that.
no
but-
shame, no shame.
Yeah.
Work out at any age, but
Mhm.
I have not been getting the best workout for making progress. I've kind of just been flatlining the whole time.
I mean, at least you're consistent,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with Rohan's statement. Like, algo es mejor
Yeah.
que nada. It's good that you at least have like the I guess the schedule to do it with, instead of like, because if you keep doing it like interspersed, like I do, I end up having that like guilt workout more. I end up being like, I got to go extra hard on this run, and end up doing more than is necessary to challenge myself, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
what
feel like-
workouts do you do with your mom? That's super cool.
Well, I've been training her recently, so we'll do mostly calisthenics and then small weight exercises. But every day I have been moving closer and closer to being able to do freestanding handstand push-ups.
Nice.
So I'm getting up to I can do a minute handstand against the wall, and then I'll do 25 handstand push-ups against the wall every morning. Until one day, I can't yet, but I will be able to soon. I will be able to do freestanding like handstand push-ups anywhere. It's just, I love handstands. They're so cool.
That's super cool.
It's great.
Yeah.
That's
You like
crazy.
try to learn how to like walk with it too, because the people who know how to like locomote, oh, that's so cool.
Oh my god, those gymnasts, they make me so jealous.
Yeah.
Seriously, the things people can do with their body are freaking insane.
Yeah.
Pause.
Absolutely crazy.
No, okay, you don't need to pause that, but okay. Is it just me, or do y'all think that like every time I do a workout, I just feel so much better, like mentally and focused?
Mhm.
Like in terms of like even with bad energy, like it easily pushes that stuff away, and I think that's part of the reason that I started doing workouts, because it's an easy, healthy outlet for letting out those negative emotions and just turning that into like fury into one thing.
Totally.
Even when I work out, like maybe I'm working out because I'm upset that I did something wrong, or I'm like sad or whatever, right? Even when I'm working out for a bad reason, like a guilt workout, I feel better and I feel clearer minded during it, and I recognize the bad reason I started the workout, but it's still good. It's still progress.
Yeah.
So
I get that too, where like in the middle of working out, you kind of almost like see yourself and you reevaluate as you're doing it. And as you're doing it, it just slowly like it kind of like ebbs away the how terrible it was sometimes. And so I guess for me, it's very therapeutic as well. Like I love to run a lot, and a lot of the challenge comes in like just going harder at it. And it's one of those, I feel like running is one of those things where you got to be conscious of it like all the time. I mean, the same thing is I feel like with your sort of powerlifting, Dante, you powerlift a bit too, but like you've got to be cognitive of that all the time. Like if you're distracted too much or something, or if you're not focused and you're in the middle of like a really heavy bench press, you're done, right? So the same thing, yeah. And the same thing with running, I feel like you got to be conscious of that, of like the speed you're going at, because you can constantly control whether to go harder or whether to go or to like be easy on yourself. So you're always kind of like pushing yourself. Keep going, which is
I miss my bench press. I'm sad.
Oh.
Been doing
gym days.
No weights at home. I have one 35-pound dumbbell and then two 12s. So I've been trying to do whatever I can with those weights.
I get that.
And I'm just like, I miss the weight room, dude. I miss it so bad.
I'm using a mat. I'm literally doing all my exercises pretty much on just like one mat and maybe like one stool to do like decline.
I feel you. My parents have been doing yoga.
You gotta be
too,
resourceful.
Yeah, totally. And they've been doing stuff on mats too, and it's just you don't really have that many tools anymore, which pushes you to get out there and get creative.
It does show you you can work out anywhere.
True.
You don't need a gym membership to work out. Honestly, if you don't have a gym membership, you really should be working out by yourself if you can, but work out with people. Try to work out with people, or have friends that you talk about working out with, because it like keeps you from just like forgetting about it when you're the only person holding yourself accountable.
I get that.
Totally.
But when I try working out with people, it's less like scheduled, like it's less focused for me. So I actually get more productive when I'm working out by myself. Like it's cool to have. What?
You go first.
It's cool to have like friends who like you guys who also work out, so I can talk about it. But when it comes to actually doing the workouts, I like just being in the zone with my music and doing whatever I need to do.
Yeah,
getting it done.
I feel you. I totally feel you.
It's definitely all personal. For me, I don't like working out very much. I get distracted too easily. But Rohan, you're actually one of the only people I know you're so capable of pushing yourself to make progress alone all the time.
Yeah,
Constant
totally.
progress. It's very impressive. But I see it a lot in your music, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
that's for sure, because I feel like you're crazy on that like daily stuff. You're really good about making sure I'm gonna make sure I get this in the day, and you build the habit of working on it. Like I think my things are still habits, but they're more spaced out, so they feel a bit more what's the word for like not like touchable, or like they feel a little more ghost-like.
Or they feel out of reach.
Not exactly like unattainable, but more like wispy, a little less physical. Yeah,
definitely. Adjustment time
is crazy though. Yeah, but I feel like what's interesting is everybody has a different mindset about working and about working out, and sometimes when you start to get in the flow of working out, you really start to change standards for yourself. And I think that's the cool part of it, is when you're in the middle of working out, I think you get this a lot, especially Rohan, when you work out, and I've seen this before as well. When you work out, you really push yourself and you say, oh, I'm going to do like 20 or 30, etc. And then you end up doing way more. And actually, same with you, Dante. I remember you were doing crunches one time. And you were like, this is the only thing I have left. I'm going to go all out. And so I think all three of us really use that. Like, even though our habits are different, once we're actually doing the workout itself, the effort ends up being pushed like crazy high.
You're really able to push yourself, but that has a lot to do with the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
I miss working out together, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to push yourself when you're working out with somebody who is many scales below you.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to push yourself to maintain that drive. I love working out with my mom, but it's hard to force myself to make progress when when you're working out with somebody.
Not a direct competitor.
Exactly. You need to work out with somebody who you feel like they can beat you. Like, if you don't work hard enough, they're gonna beat you.
You
know?
I get that.
Yeah. I'm not really, I feel like that's kind of different from me because I feel like I'm inherently a little bit much less probably of a competitive person, but the same thing still kind of applies. I need to work out with somebody that's kind of at my level to be like challenging me too, just a person that not necessarily, that's maybe not even at my level, but like at my determination level, like doing their best and stuff like that. Because when you see that sort of effort coming from somebody else, you're inherently like, okay, I'm going to give it more too. Like, let's do this. And I've had that same thing with you guys too. When I see you guys working super hard at this sort of thing, I'm like, okay, I got to step it up too. Like, I can't slack, which is super, super cool.
Put that in mind, like the internet could probably do some crazy stuff with that because internet enhances your perspective of everything and it makes you see those hardworking people. And you could probably shift your like view of people, or not view of people, but view and motivation of a workout just by looking at people working out, right?
On that topic, what would be really cool is if there was like, I wish that there was more like a Zoom, but not like a Zoom. And I'll elaborate. I mean a video conference call that is constantly open, that you can just join and everybody who's in that conference call is working out. So it's open 24/7 for everybody around the world, and you join in and you will run into anybody who is also on that conference call working out. It doesn't matter where they live. They could live states away from you, and you work out together. I think that'd be so useful for motivation if you could just log into that and you see, Bob from Georgia and mate from Alabama's working out. You'd be like, all right, great, we're gonna work out together today.
Or even like Rebecca from the UK or something like that.
I think gyms are missing out on a big business opportunity with that. That's a huge opportunity. That's such a cool
idea. Like, I especially love the community sense of it because I feel like a lot of good habits are built by communities, not just like people. Because I think motivation, like you were saying, Dante, is a huge issue with a lot of people. And so just by having people that push that to the forefront of your mind, kind of remind you to do it. I think for me, the easiest direct parallel for that is probably like school. When I saw people working super hard at that, it definitely inspired me to like keep going with that. And then you're like texting people about assignments. It's just, that's really what you're, I guess, thinking about at the time. So even though it can be harmful sometimes, you're still pushing for it and doing your best, which is really what counts. Even though they're stupid assignments.
They were so stupid. Right. Now that we've all graduated, 4 years of high school, positive, negative experience, go.
Positive, 100%. Negative, actually not that much. I feel like I'm surprised by how positive it turned out. I'm definitely a little bit biased because, I don't know, I think I'm just, I don't want to say it's just lucky, but I guess in regards to routines, I just ended up hanging out with good people, and that definitely kept me.
I think that's just because you're a good person.
Oh, thank you.
That helps you. You're good at finding, people. But Rohan, positive, negative experience.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was positive. Senior year was definitely the most important year of my life to this date, or at least actually this year.
But like every year, the last year that just happened,
but like I changed the most, like that in terms of what it taught me. extremely positive, and in terms of how I handled it, positive. But in terms of what happened, nah,
Para
whole lot of
nada.
negative.
Fuck
But
COVID.
yeah,
That's a fact.
and with quarantine and everything, cutting our senior year short too. Yeah, a lot of negative experience, I'd say. Just at the end of the high school career. I mean, there's a lot of things where it's like they were negative, but then in comparison to what I have now, not negative at all. But yeah, I think in general, with what I have, I still have my friends around me, I still have my family around me, and I can't say that's a negative thing at all. And I'm appreciative of that. So for what it did to me, positive, but for what it was, not so positive.
For sure.
Definitely agreed.
Mhm.
How do you think the last 3 months of our
Well,
senior
what
year?
about you? What about you specifically?
Yeah. Let's not skip over that.
Honestly, okay, high school overall negative, but the 4 years of life in which high school took place, probably at least the last one, big positive. The year before that was just a year of me making a shit ton of mistakes. But I think
I get that.
yeah, I learned
Yeah.
a lot from those, and overall positive.
Hmm.
Definitely came out a lot better off on the other end.
For sure. And I think just definitely the experiences encompassed by all of that, even if the experiences were negative, you got something somehow positive, or at least you got like a lesson out of it. You know, I don't really consider, I mean, obviously I want to find the positive in everything. And that's not to say there are no negatives, which, you know, I'm sure there are a lot, like significant amounts of negative parts. But I feel like just in general, it's been a good positive in learning. Maybe not necessarily about like academic stuff, but just learning about life.
How do you think that the last 3 months? Okay, what were you looking forward to in the last 3 months of senior year that you didn't get to do, that you wished you could have done, and why?
You answer your own question first. I'm going to deflect that back to you because it sounds like you might have an answer.
I do have an answer. I have a big answer. Like prom, I wanted to go to prom, but the bigger one of that is I really wanted to try to get a girlfriend senior year, because I didn't have any like good successful relationships during high school.
It's hard for us all.
Oh crap. Not good. But I was hoping to get a girlfriend that I could go to prom with. And that all got cut short, which sucked. But I was just also hoping to, you know, expand my circle, to make more friends, to meet new people, and now it's the worst possible time to meet new people.
Yeah,
because nobody wants to.
You can't meet new people.
Yeah, it's not really. Yeah, it's not. Well, that's really interesting about you, Dante, because I feel like in general you're really good at making communities for yourself and having them like work for you. I don't mean in like you bossing them around, but like making communities that are really positive and keeping them really close to you. And so like that in many like different walks of life you're able to do that and get around with people. But what's interesting is that like it's hard for you in regards to like a significant other, which is like it seems like it would be even easier almost, but yeah, but definitely the struggle is real. Like it's different when you start to consider it when it's.
Did you go over? Because Robert didn't go over his answers.
Right. Actually, mine kind of fits a lot with Dante's. I actually had some plans for prom too. I was really excited to go with a really good friend of mine, and she and I were making some plans for it. And we had a lot of talk about this, and we both thought it was super cool that we were going as a set of platonic friends because she and I had been.
You named it like it's some kind of scientific reaction. What friends?
Well, like platonically.
Platonic?
Friends. Well, I guess there are no other friends besides no, that's not true.
No,
that's not true. That is like I'm gonna bud, I'm gonna get you right there.
Yeah. Hold up. Incorrect. Continue.
But continue.
And so yeah, and so we were gonna go as platonic friends, and I think it was a really good way to end things off and the year because we actually went through some troubles with our relationship. We weren't sure really what to call it, but but we both kind of worked through some of the issues there. And actually, in senior year, we got to talk about a lot of the stuff that we both went through. And I was just super excited. It was going to be, I guess, the final cherry on top of like, I've kind of went through this 4 years, like fighting what to think of this individual and to build a relationship, when finally, I guess, the main struggles are over. The most awkwardness and the testing and all that is done. So I guess that, and also in hand with the sense of finality in general, that this is prom, you get to enjoy it, it's all over. That sense of finality is...
I'm looking forward to seeing Robert's dance moves. I'm sad.
You were about to see me just like look like a sine wave. You know that meme of Squidward going like that? That's what I would have looked like.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
To
Can't really do it
EDM.
here, but
That's me right there. That's me. What about you, Rohan?
Closure. Closure is what I was looking for.
Closure is what
to summarize it the best, and I think that's what everyone's looking for. And I think when I've talked to my brother about it, when I've talked to my other friends about it, you can't really experience closure with a type of thing like this. Even if we did have prom, even if we did have graduation, we still would have had that lack of closure, because it's always too soon to graduate and leave this community behind. So this was just kind of a wake-up call for me. I wanted that closure, I wanted prom, and I wanted graduation. First of all, I also wanted spring fling, because I get hype at the dances. I start mosh pits. I love that personally. I knew prom and graduation would be the same. I wanted that sense of finale for graduation better than a drive-through. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. And I knew prom wasn't going to be as hype as the actual dances. So I wasn't that excited for it. Safe and sober night, I was actually really excited for, because I heard there's a hypnotist. There's like a pool. There's a bunch of crazy stuff that happens. It sounds super crazy. You stay up all night. And we missed out on that. And all my other friends who graduated told me that was a great event and the best event that we missed out on. So yeah, those things. But at the end of the day, it's never enough to kind of fill that. So
yeah, I feel that. Where have you guys gone with that sense of finality? Like, do you think you've achieved it in other means now, or not exactly? Or like what I guess was the best substitute?
I think that I actually, now this is not, it's similar. Okay. So I just went through Snapchat and I added every single person whose name I recognized from high school. I went and I added all of them, because I figured I'm gonna want to talk to these guys later. I want to have a way to get in contact with the people I spent so much time with later, because I know that I have no availability for closure now.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel
there is nothing I can do.
Definitely. And I think that fact has scared me a lot too. Like, it feels so weird and almost like school hasn't ended yet. Like, there are people that I'm not going to be seeing that I feel like I've cultivated really positive relationships with. And I think we're all the kind that's like, we don't want to leave those structures behind. You know, it's just, we've spent so much time and effort kind of building really positive relationships with people, and it's going to be kind of sad to see them not there anymore. And so definitely getting in contact with people is the best way to do it. But it's scary to think that those might fade a little bit. But I guess that's the nature of
There's some people we're never going to see again.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It's wild.
And we don't know who, but
well, some of them are going to move countries, move to prison, die. A lot of things, big scary world out there, man. Some
That's
of the
true.
people are gonna disappear.
Yeah.
How about you, Rohan?
Dealing with that sense of closure, I've been trying to contact my friends and talk to them on a more one-to-one level and less of a group level, because I feel like there's a lot of people I couldn't connect with one-on-one because of the group setting.
Yeah.
Talking with you guys, with my close friends, and working on music. Definitely, because that is the best distraction, or one of the best distractions, other than talking to friends and spending time with family, for the sense of closure. And I've dealt with this. I deal with this every single day. Like every single day, I deal with this. Like, man, I wish things were different. but it's like I have to kind of get past that, and I don't ever get past that. I just distract myself really well and do work out, and I meditate, and I make music and hang out with you guys to kind of move away from that and say, I have to create a future now that's better, because that future is not going to come along by me complaining, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like sometimes when you work on your music, it's you're actually kind of paving a little bit of future for yourself there. You have stuff that's going to be released kind of down the line that you can look forward to and be excited about.
Exactly. It instead of down the line thinking about the past, my down the line is thinking about the future.
Nice.
Which helps a lot. Because instead of, oh man, I wish I talked to this person, or I wish things happened different with this person's. Oh man, I got a podcast episode I got to record for this date. How do I get this in? Or I got a song, like it's a different kind of stress, but it's just a better stress, you know?
Oh yeah.
For me at this point.
It's one future oriented. Yeah.
So to touch on that a little bit, one regret now that everything's over and now kind of crashing to a halt. If you could pick one, what would it be?
How about you start? Wait, no, I'll start, I guess, because with one of them you started, Robert, one of them Dante started.
Yeah. What's really funny, okay, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but like, I think this was actually a press the button thing we did one time. Or like a hypothetical question we've asked ourselves.
We're literally doing a press the button on the podcast.
Yeah, kind of.
I love it. I love it.
I'm living for it, though.
Hey,
you're saying, Rohan?
Loving myself more and being more confident in who I am, and realizing that I'm not at fault for a lot of the things happening to me. And realizing my worth. I mean, these are all the same things I've said differently. Realizing my worth and standing up for myself when someone doesn't give me the worth I deserve.
Yeah, when they don't treat
that
right.
Basic idea is my biggest regret, because I feel like there's certain situations where I was not treated well, and I thought it was my fault when it was not my fault. So understanding that and realizing that someone's not worth your time and it's just not your fault and you shouldn't worry about it too much is probably the best thing.
That connects a lot with mine. Mine is not realizing how many people there really were. You know, because you know the same people, you interact with the same people, you form friendships, and then you kind of feel trapped by those friendships. I wish I had realized sooner, oh my God, there's 1,000 people at this school. If someone's not treating me well, or if they're just being a dick to me, or whatever, or we're not getting along, I can just stand up and leave and go talk to somebody else. There are hundreds of people for me to go open up to, form relationships with. You don't need to stick around with people who aren't treating you well, or who are being, immature or petty. I think that that's something people should consider, is like, if things aren't going well, you can always make new friends.
You're in control. That's a big thing that I also learned.
And this is different.
I didn't know I was in
ditching
control.
out too. Like, that's not ditching out by any means. It's saying there's nothing I can get from this, so I'm not going to be present anymore. That's completely different from like tossing up a good opportunity, which is something I think should be made clear.
But also try not to lose any good opportunities because you're scared.
That's that's what I hear is one of the biggest regrets for a lot of high school people who graduated, that they didn't do something they were scared to do. And there's situations where I was scared to do stuff, and I still did it with the help of you guys. And it didn't turn out great, but at least that's not the regret, I think I would have been in a much worse position.
I regret not ever going to dances, because I really like dancing, but I don't like a lot of people at the school. I was going to go to one dance. I got tickets to go.
Yeah, we were waiting for you for that.
Yeah, I was excited.
And I didn't because whammon, because girls.
The whammy.
I got a little distracted on a hilltop somewhere, and I missed the dance. And then I never ended up going to any high school dances at all.
I actually never went to them until junior year. So I missed the first half of high school dances. And once I went to them, I'm like, oh my God, what am I missing out on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I just went to like every single one from that point because they were so hype and I loved every single one of them.
Mm-hmm. I guess for me, I've actually been to like most of them. It was more so that like I was there for the people though. I mean, obviously part of me was hoping that they would play something new because I love EDM. I was hoping for, you know, an absolute banger.
Mm-hmm.
And prom might have been the one to play it. But we're not going to go there. We're not going to talk about that. But it was kind of more for the people, just like vibing, seeing people happy, being able to talk with them in a different context than would normally be. And I guess also part of it is like trying new music out and trying a different scene out than I would normally be in.
And all right, something that I really wanted to revisit, and now is the perfect time. And Robert, if you don't want to talk about this on the podcast or on live or anything, you don't need
No
to.
problem. No problem. We could just list the timestamp and still talk about it.
To reiterate, are you happy that we forced you to ask that girl that we are all talking about out? You know, we forced you to deal with that head on.
For sure. Definitely you guys kept me on top of that sort of thing. And I feel like we did the same thing for each other at some point in time where it was like, it's time for you to deal with your feelings about this thing. Like, we all get in our bags about, like, I don't want to deal with it. This is, even though it's my problem, I don't want it to be. And everybody, especially, I think you guys to me, and the same thing with everybody else to each other is, you got to deal with it, mate. Like, this is the time. There's no running away about it. So it's definitely a weight off your back. And I wish that sort of communication would happen between more people. I wish that it was easier to communicate without like such, I guess, awkward mental penalties or like the idea of things going
people are scared to say their true feelings a lot.
Yeah. And I think part of it too is that when you're at school, you're stuck there, right? You're going to see this person again so many times. But I think but being a positive, effective communicator values so much because you're able to kind of like, you're still able to deal with the issue, but you're able to move past it in a faster way and make it less awkward, I feel, which is super important.
I can definitely say that you guys were a really good support system as I tried to make progress in other areas, especially when it kind of fucked up and fell on its face. I was really happy that I could come back to you guys and talk about it, and I never got any judgment or any teasing or any of that shit.
Same with me. I mean, I had a similar story to Robert's story. I'm not going to get into it too much, but being able to kind of at least try to get my feelings out was much better than not doing anything. And doing what was in my control for that situation was definitely a learning experience that not only furthered my pursuits in creative directions, but also just made me a more happy person, I'd say.
Yeah, I feel that. And actually, this is a really good say to something I wanted to kind of bring up, is that you can get a lot of people, I guess, build up romantic relationships to be this, they provide you with everything. But I feel like the more realistic depiction is so much of that support, especially emotionally, comes from your friends and your family, the people who are close to you in that regard. As soon as you start building up, I guess, an expectation of what a romantic relationship should be giving you, you start kind of buying into it and focusing into it a lot. When I guess, especially what I've experienced between you guys, a lot of you guys have been my emotional support, done things that I guess a partner would also be good for. But this way was a lot better because you don't, it's I feel like you're hanging on the romance too much sometimes.
I feel like it was better because it wasn't so volatile. Because when you're in a relationship with somebody, and like, relationships are always prone to end. You can, and you don't want to, especially at this point in our lives, you don't want to have all your emotional support come from one person, and then when you're having issues with that one person, you have no emotional support for those issues.
Eggs in the basket. Yeah,
it feels crappy as hell. Because you feel like you're not able to talk to anybody.
Yeah. So have a good group of friends, I'd say, for high school. Just have a good
group of friends. Go out and find people, because there are other people out there who would want to be your friend. You know?
Yo, half of my closest friends were literally me just getting out and meeting people. Like, even some of my close friends now are literally, I made them the last year of high school, and it's just because I went out.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if I went out more. Like, I would have made more friends.
Totally.
So don't box yourself in, and don't judge people too much too. Like, that's something I learned for myself.
That's true. Kind of what I'm like, I see as very like a connected thread between both of your guys' statements. I feel like when people, I guess, talk to each other with more love, if that makes sense, or more like good intent instead of judgment, you end up with just a better conversation. And I've heard stories of like, just by somebody mistaking a stranger for a friend and they act super friendly towards them, they end up as friends as well. I feel like that should be the norm more, where you can just, you don't have to, you can just be friendly. I mean, I don't want to fake it, of course, but like, everybody's going through stuff. And so it's kind of comforting just to have that, hey, I don't know what you're going through, but, you know, I'm still going to support you.
Yeah, definitely.
That's actually really perfect, though. I feel like a lot of this, it's nice to be really impulsive with friends sometimes, and just, I guess, not even necessarily go out with them, but at least just hit them up and be like, hey, you know, I've missed you guys. And I do this, I think I should do it with you guys more, but I've been doing it a little bit with my Cal group as well. I've been like, hey, I just want to say what's up. I haven't seen you guys in a while. And it's been nice just to have that extra. I mean, I feel like they appreciate it too, because it's like, you're remembering me, and I appreciate that. And also just a little extra dialogue, because, you know, keeping
that can do a
friendships
lot for
alive.
someone.
Yeah,
when the impulsiveness.
When you talk to someone without any reason to talk to them, it really makes them feel special. It makes me feel special, I know. You know, when you just reach out to someone and be like, hey man, what's up? It's been a while. How you been? You know, and you don't have like a project with them. You don't have any reason to talk to them. You know, it's just random, and it makes them feel nice, like I matter to this person, you know?
Totally. And especially now when it's like, at this point, and I think you guys have both expressed this to me individually as well, that it's really, really nice to just have that. And all the friendships you had before are really kind of showing their true colors now, about how much they mean to you and you mean to them, which I think is so, so cool. Like, now's the time where you're really building those friendships up. And I think I'm really thankful for that. It's nice to know, I guess, who's really in my corner. Because I guess it's almost like people are showing you, hey, I'm still deserving your support here. And I'm like, you know what? Take these hearts, all right? I'm just going to toss them your way. Take all these L's of love, guys.
L's of love. I love that.
L for love, not for loss, right there.
Take this L.
Every time someone takes an L in high school, you just give them an L of love.
Exactly.
That's the way to twist
the situation. That's how it is. Nice.
Bro, it's good to see you guys again. Good to talk to you. My cheekbones hurt because I haven't smiled this much in a long time.
I feel you. I've been there too. Yeah.
I get that.
This is
sweet. And like it's not because I'm not happy. It's just because when I'm home alone, I get very stone face kind of, you know.
I feel you.
Yeah.
You pull out the smile to send cute girls snaps like, hey, and then you just stone face again.
Yeah, I get you.
Dante, your humor is underrated. More people should appreciate your humor.
You're definitely going to be a guest that appears multiple times.
Yes.
The chemistry is underrated.
I feel like you have a lot more charisma than you gave yourself points for. You've got mad amounts of charisma, but it's just
thank you very
people
much.
are sleeping on it. No problem, mate. You deserve it.
Yeah, and I'd love to be a repeat guest. I love the podcast style.
Yeah, for sure. And you seem to be really shining in it too. Like, you're good about like mitigating questions and stuff. I think Rohan and I have talked about this a little bit, but like it's nice to have guests too that you can kind of ball off of. And it's like, it's not anything wrong with two people, but it's kind of refreshing sometimes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think 3 people is a good number for like a starting podcast
Mhm.
because 2 people is good, but it can
Yeah.
get stale when you just don't have anything. You don't have anybody to look to. But
I
if
feel
you
like
use 2 people with constant guests,
Mhm.
it's nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely.
And that was a really sating conversation.
Yay, it was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
was great, man.
Here's something that I would bring up. It's a little personal on my end, but I think
All right.
Mhm.
the importance of recognizing your mistakes and like trying to make good on them, trying to make them better, even if it's been a long time.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know, because I recently had to deal with that with one of my close friends, and I made a mistake a long time ago that I never told them about, and I recognized that it wasn't healthy to hold on to that, even though it had been a year, a full year, of a friendship, and I told him, and he was mad at me for a very long time. He's still mad at me, but he came back, we talked about it, and he was just like, you know, I wish you'd told me a year ago, but I'm glad you told me now.
Yeah. Tell them ASAP, even if you fear it, because
Yeah,
it's gonna get worse.
scared of doing
I have a
it.
funny story about that. I don't know if I ever told this before, but actually, no, I want to save it a little bit for the altered sounds one, but I'm not gonna get too much into it. But
What is it though? Give us a little sneak peek.
okay, so we became friends for music in our troupe, right? And turns out he comes to me like, oh man, I don't know how to say this. Okay, I'm just gonna say it like the full thing because it's fine. So I'm a very like responsible and stuff and paranoid person when it comes to my stuff. So I go to my summer camp for the first year and I lose $35. Now
I know
everyone, everyone is like, first year lost $35, classic first year. But I know I didn't lose that $35. That $35 was in my wallet before and it was in my wallet after. Or no, it wasn't in my wallet after. I did not randomly toss it around. I was very stingy with the money because it was not my money, it was my parents' money. So I was very careful and I was not throwing it around. Then I meet my boy Altered Sounds. And we become good friends and we start chatting it up. And like randomly at a meeting, he's like, oh, I got something to tell you. I've been holding on for years. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I took your $35. And I'm like, he's like, another person in the troop who was a very bad influenced me to take that $35. I'm like, okay, you go pay me back though? And he's like, yeah. And then the next meeting he pays me back. And I love that story because Alter Sounds and I are so close now. Like we're really close friends. And it started off that. So don't be afraid to apologize for your mistakes. It's better to have that answer than having like a maybe or an indefinite confusion about a certain thing.
And if you're scared that they're not gonna forgive you or whatever, if you just come at it with honesty and they don't forgive you and you lose that friend, it's not the end of the world. You're gonna make more friends, and you can take that to your grave that you were the better person, because it's better than living a friendship that is tainted by like a lie, you know?
Same with asking someone out.
Yeah. And like also the same could be said is like if that person decides to leave, right, it's kind of on them for not holding it out. I mean, not necessarily, obviously I see what anger does to a person, but like when you bring it up, it shows how much you care about the relationship. And if they're the one who decides to walk away and not deal with it as well, that's kind of showing a little bit of immaturity on that side. Again, but like, definitely. I don't know if I've had times where I've made people mad, but I think I've let people down in the past. Yeah, I've had times where I've let people down in the past. Yeah, everybody has that. Yeah. And when you're, I guess, really, you don't need to be super apologetic, but like if you understand what it's done to that person and you've reflected on it and you bring it to them, I think it's a really touching moment, I guess, for me, because it's just, you can kind of see the regret in the person, and it kind of shows their character as well.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point to bring up. It's never too late to apologize.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times, I feel like it makes a relationship so much stronger. Something I kind of want to dig into.
Definitely.
After forgiveness time, there
Yeah,
needs to be
after,
a little bit of time, because you also have to understand other people's emotions, and you can't get mad at them for getting mad. You know?
That's kind of dumb.
Everyone has the right to be mad.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know, but
except when it's not wearing a mask. Then that's a different story.
Facts.
Oh, I was like,
it
took some kind of deep thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's talking about masks.
I mean, you could think about it that way too, I guess.
Yeah, wearing a mask.
In order to definitely.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about long distance relationships?
Okay. All right.
I'm talking to a girl right now in Florida.
I'm talking to some friends in Florida.
We can do international.
Like, what do you guys think about long distance? Like, would you ever do a long distance relationship?
Okay, you're gonna. This is the meat I really wanted to get into. Also, I messed it up. It was actually Mr. Worldwide. That's what I meant to say. Mr. Worldwide right there. But man, you're gonna get me super in my bag about this, because obviously, at the time we are now in high school and college, I feel like nobody's looking for anything like that serious. Mm-hmm. So I feel like LDRs are really only suited for I guess higher. I mean, some relationships really, really gel and they really mature over that amount of time. I feel like if you're able to say, I'm not going to take it seriously, but as time goes on, my hope and trust in you is going to increase. Those LDRs, I think I'm okay with. And I think I would consider it. I would give it a shot. Just at least for the experience. Because it would definitely be hard, but I feel like if it's successful, it can be super successful. You're investing so much trust in that person and so much, I guess, independence you're exerting differently. So if there's a point where you can actually get together and reflect on that time, you can see the bravery and the love that the other person has had for you. Obviously, though, they're not for everybody, and there are certain things that some people need. But if your needs are to the point where it's okay to engage in an LDR, go for it.
He asked what you think.
That is what I think. Yeah, I would do it. I think my needs, I guess my expectations or needs in a relationship would be fitting of an LDR. I would
gotcha.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Me? Okay. I don't know if I'm the only one. That's the thing. I don't know if I'm the only one in the LDR. There could be a video chat, then there could be another video chat after my video chat with someone else.
Ooh.
You know, I don't know. It's not safe out here.
But that is true.
It could be a Snapchat at 5:01 p.m., then another chat to another person at 5:02, then 5:03, then 5:04. There might be 10 people, 10 guys on speed dial, and I'm one of them, you know? And to an extent, that can also work in real life. But at the same time, I feel like it's easier to pull off with long-distance relationships. Mm-hmm. So I'm a little bit iffy about it, but I might change, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that is true. It's harder.
And like the touch, the sense of like being able to touch.
Yeah, person that's kind of where I fall. Where emotionally I can connect with somebody over long distance, but I don't think I could ever maintain a relationship over long distance, because that love language of touch is very important to me.
That's actually I never had the chance to ask you guys about that. What is your love language? What are your love languages?
Touch, I guess, and words.
Dante. Touch and words.
Rohan?
No idea.
Facts. Fair enough.
Haven't been in the field enough to gather that information.
Know what you like, or I guess what you fantasize.
He doesn't have enough playtime to know his style yet.
Yeah.
It's okay, Rohan. You'll get there. Don't worry.
Oh, it is okay.
Thing with me, like I know what I like, but I've never had the chance to, I guess, act on it, if that makes sense. But definitely same with you. I think it's touch and time. I guess isn't that one of them? Like time spent with another person. I'm pretty sure it's one of them. But like definitely skin hunger just gets to you so much, and like in my bag even more around. And I've expressed it to you guys too. It's just it feels so good to be held, bro. Oh my
Listen,
God.
I'm only attracted to Virgos. If you're not a Virgo, get out of my space, dog. I'm only attracted to people who have the horoscope sign that complements my horoscope sign. And if you're not that, you're out of the stars are not aligned, and you're out of my house.
Bro,
listen, Mercury is in retrograde.
The power in that statement, like, dude, like the stars just aren't adding up. I'm gonna need you to leave.
I love that. I love that so much.
The first date is just like, what star sign are you? I'm a Capricorn. Oh, you're not a Virgo, and just walks out.
Just be like, sorry, the auditions are over. Please take it. Exit at the right.
Some people will just crash your car and be like, well, I'm just a Capri Sun. It's like that, you know?
It do be like that.
Twitter does that. Twitter.
Oh my God.
Or no, or what's even worse is if you get profiled. And what's even better is if they're wrong when they're profiled. Oh, dude, I've been Sagittarius? No?
The personality quizzes. When you get the wrong result, and then you start justifying in your mind and make a whole argument. I think Dante talked about this earlier in one of our discussions. How you can get the wrong personality type and go like, wait, that actually is me. That perfectly suits me. And then
that's because every single one of them fits every person.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm a Leo, right? And it's like supposed to be strong, confident, charismatic, all that shit. But
I mean, that does fit, though.
Things, no, but it fits to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody is those things at some point. You know,
True.
when you tell somebody that they are, you know, strong and confident, they just think in their mind of times they've been strong and confident. All right.
So thank you so much, Dante, for being on this episode. I don't know why we just I think I interrupted you.
We're hitting it.
Thank you so much, Dante, for getting into this episode.
Yes, definitely. Thank you,
it was
Dante.
honestly
Always
a pleasure. We're
to
definitely going to have you on another time, and I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Like always, at the end of every episode, what we do is we say always
to end things off. So we hit them with a heart, of course. Gotta kiss our viewers out there.
Always.
Always.
Bye. Always.
Always. Okay.